My favorite thing to do in Canada for recreation, well, it's going to sound like a pretty stereotypical Canadian answer, but it's probably playing ice hockey. I think nothing better than going to the rink and lacing up the skates and having a good old-fashioned game. What's a fact that people don't know about Aaron Gunn? Well, obviously I'm from Victoria. I got into politics through a passion of history. So I'm a huge history buff. I love reading about Canadian history and world history. And that was kind of my gateway into getting involved and being interested in politics and political outcomes. What we've seen with this government is they have an ideological predisposition to be anti-Canadian energy. And that's what we have to move beyond, as you said. It's not about left or right, it's about common sense and solutions that make sense. We look at Europe, we look at Asia, these are markets that are dependent on either unreliable sources of energy, energy supplied by dictators and dictatorial regimes, or by coal, in the case of Korea and Japan, some of these places. Canadian LNG is one of these rare win-win solutions that can lower global emissions, provide billions of dollars to our economy, create thousands of jobs, and yet our government is doing nothing to get this energy to other markets, while other countries like the United States and Australia race ahead with theirs. So I think we just have to be honest, we need a change in government, and we need to move beyond this kind of ideological framework and focus just on what solutions make the most sense. Instead of always trashing the country that we all live in, we celebrate what shared values we have as Canadians, and I think there's tons to celebrate. We look, obviously, it's one of the most prosperous countries, one of the freest countries in the world, so I think we need to come together and celebrate those shared things. And of course, one of those things is obviously our proud history of developing our natural resources. This is a pioneer country where people came from all over the world, have obviously transformed it into what it is today. Well, I'm all over social media, mainly on Facebook, also on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all these things. Right now, we're working on season 3 of Politics Explained, which is going to be released this fall, talking about energy issues, but other issues as well, like inflation and the cost of living. And that's a longer kind of documentary series where we travel all across the country, speak to experts in all sorts of different topics. So that's coming out. I probably love doing that the best. It tells the other side of stories that all too often Canadians aren't getting through their traditional media choices.